Hey, this is Dave from CheapWineFinder.com, broadcasting from deep inside the CheapWineFinder.com bunker. Yeah, we're hunkering down like everybody else, trying to stay away from anybody if we don't want to get the disease, we don't want to give the disease, so we're just hanging in here drinking wine. And today we have one, it's a Trader Joe's wine. It's one of their reserve wines, those special black bottle ones, and all we know about it is what the name says, so I better grab the bottle so I can read it. And it's the Trader Joe's Grand Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon, Chalk Hill, Sonoma County, 2018, lot 96. And that's a long name, but that's all we know about this. So what can we deduce from this? Because it doesn't really matter if you like the wine, and it's $12.99 for a Chalk Hills wine. Most Chalk Hill wines maybe on the low end or around $20, and they can go up to typically, easily 2 to 3 times that amount for a Cabernet Sauvignon. So $12.99, you're not taking like a huge gamble if you don't think it's great or you just think it's so-so. Well, at least you tried a Chalk Hill Cabernet. And that's half the battle, but all we do know about it is what's on the label. It tells you everything you need to know about the wine. And Chalk Hill is in the northeast corner of the Russian River AVA. And the Russian River is a valley, and it's cool. It's where Pinot Noir and Chardonnay is from. It's kind of famous for Russian River Pinots from Sonoma. And this Chalk Hill is higher elevation, and it's hills. It's just these rolling hills, and the soil is volcanic from ancient volcanoes. Kind of Napa Valley has kind of the same kind of thing with ancient volcanic soils, and these soils make these Cabernets kind of unique and different, and the soils really do well. And with the little warmer temperature, it really does well for Cabernet Sauvignon and a few other grapes, but this is a really good area to choose wine from. So for a $12.99 wine, that's good. So what else do we know about it? Chalk Hill is a fairly small AVA. I think there's only like 5 wineries in there. Mary Edwards, Rodney Strong, a couple of others. It doesn't have a ton of acreage under vines. It's kind of small compared to the major Russian River ones. So this is not an area that places like Trader Joe's, Aldi's typically gets a lot of leftover wine. Which is where you get a lot of these things. They don't go to the people making the $50 wines and asking them for one of their $50 wines. They ask for what's left over, and that's why the prices are cheaper. And that's why you never know what you're getting, but at a cheap price, it's worth a chance. So this isn't a typical area for store brands for, bargain bottles. You normally got to pay $20 or so to, or more to get a Chalk Hill Cabernet. And another thing about this wine is it's got a big, heavy bottle. It weighs a lot. You put it up against a normal $10, $12 wine. This thing weighs considerably more. The punt on the bottom, that's that hole in there, is bigger. It gives the wine more, or the bottle more strength. It's usually for wines that you put away and you're going to store for a while. This isn't. This is a 2018. This is one that you would probably want to store for about 4 or 5 months. But I'll get to that later. And it's got a real cork in there. I keep my corks for some reason. I always plan on, recycling them or something. I think Whole Foods does that. But, I'm looking at my corks and they're all, they're all the bits and pieces. They're like particle board version of corks or synthetic. They're all terrible. And when I pull this out, it's a real cork. It's a big bottle. It's a real cork. It's Chalk Hills. Are they trying to tell me something? And I think they kind of are. But that's kind of unique because this is probably a wine that at some point was going to sell for much more money than $12.99. And that's another thing that Trader Joe's is trying to tell you. They typically sell these Grand Reserves for $9.99. Upon occasion they go upwards, but that almost always tells you that the wine is a little bit more expensive than what you knew it to be. And so, but then there's the 2018. That is more like how you would age a $12 cab, an actual $12.99 cab that was meant to be $12.99 cab. Let's see. Chalk Hills is kind of a warm area, so they probably in 2018 they probably picked the grapes, towards the end of September, and it's released in March. So they had to, ship it out. So it's like, what's that in my head? Like 14 months of aging, maybe 15 months of aging. And usually it's however long it was in oak barrel, it's got to be that long in the bottle just so everything calms down. So we're not talking about, that's not a law. That's just a general thing because there's variables in that. But this is probably a Cabernet that might have been in oak for, 8 months and, 6 months or 7 months in bottle before they send it out. That's not usually what you get for a $25 bottle of wine. So while there are some things that lend you to believe this is originally it was supposed to be, maybe the aging part isn't. Which is okay because you're not paying for the $20, $25. You're paying for 12. So you're getting a wine that's, if I was thinking about what this is, this might be quite possibly a $24 bottle of wine that has different aging. Probably has the exact same grapes as the other one, but it's, maybe it was from an actual brand. It would actually be, maybe they probably wouldn't release it until next fall. It'd give it, another 6 months of aging or whatever. And so this is a little young, but it's not so bad. I think it's a little bit tight. If I were to think about it and, when I drink wine, I drink one and go on to the next one because we write about cheapwinefighter.com. I usually don't go back to them. But if I wasn't, I'd probably buy 2 or 3 of these bottles because they're going to sell out when they sell out, and maybe find a nice, cool place in the back of a closet someplace and pull them out after the 4th of July. And when you have a little bit more aging, and this is going to be maybe equivalent to a bottle that's maybe twice the price of what it belongs. It's okay now. It's actually really good. It tastes good. And I'm going to take a sip. I don't have a problem at all at the moment, but here we go. Yeah, it tastes good. Once it opens up, it's really fine. But I think it does need a little bit more aging. That's not that it doesn't drink well now, but that's why it's not a typical $12.99 wine, because those things are ready to go when they go. They're made in a way to be ready early, and this one's kind of like a half and half. I think it's got a little bit more detailed. If I'm guessing here, and I am guessing here, I would say it has a little bit more detailed production techniques and maybe a little less oak aging. So I think it's maybe it has 1 foot in both categories of wine. It tastes pretty good. And I would buy it. I mean, these Trader Joe's wines that are coming from areas that you don't normally find wine in this area are almost always worth trying. I mean, it's almost always worth just seeing what they're about and seeing if you like it. Because if you do like it, you might start looking for Chalk Hill Cabernets again, because there's some good brands out there, and there's some $20 wines. That's not out of the price range. Just that when you get them for $12.99, that's even better. So, and it's good to you, and it's good for you, which is what you need in this time of bad times. So, that's it for me. Till the next time, we'll figure out what we got going next. I got a couple of things in mind. Back here we got wine in the bunker, and we're hunkering down. So, hope you are too. And I'll talk to you in a couple of days. This is the Trader Joe's. I'll read it out. What am I reading here? Grand Reserve, Cabernet Sauvignon, Chalk Hill, Sonoma County, 2018, lot 96, TraderJoes.com. Keep safe, keep healthy, and keep it cheap. Bye-bye.